Good morning, children. Dibyendu Saha speaking. Hope all of you are safe and in sound health. Today I'm going to deliver the second lecture on the chapter Business Environment. Now, in my first lecture, I covered the topics. First topic was meaning and definition of business environment. Then the second topic was important characteristics of business environment, and the third one was relationship between a business organization and its environment. Hope you have studied those topics properly. Now, in this second lecture, I am going to cover the following topics. Number one, importance or benefits of understanding the business environment. And number two, introduction to the dimensions of business environment. So in lecture 2, I am going to cover two more topics from the chapter. Number one, importance or benefits of understanding the business environment. And number two, introduction to the dimensions of business environment. Now, in the first lecture, I told you what business environment is all about. So, if you have studied, you will be knowing that business environment comprise all such forces and factors which exist in the environment and which are going to affect the functioning and performance of an organization, either directly or indirectly. Now, the first topic of this session is that importance or benefits of understanding the business environment. Why is it necessary for a business organization to understand its environment and the changes taking place in this environment? That's the topic of discussion. Now, this topic can be written down in two parts. The first part will be a general introduction. So you will have to write an introductory paragraph, a general introduction on this topic, followed by some specific points of importance or advantages of understanding the business environment. So, as an introduction, you can write or you can incorporate the following points. I repeat, in the introductory paragraph of this topic, you can incorporate the following points which I am saying one after the other. Like, you can start by writing, it is very important to understand the business environment and the changes taking place in it. Every business organization must understand its environment and the changes taking place in it. Then you can write, a business organization can only become successful. A business organization can only become successful if it can understand the changes taking place in the environment and is prepared to adapt to such changes. Okay, I repeat, a business organization can only survive, can only become successful if it can understand the changes taking place in the environment and is prepared to adapt to such changes. Now, if a business organization fails to understand its environment and the changes taking place in it will definitely have to suffer in the long run. It won't be able to survive for long in the long run. For example, from 1991 onwards, you know that the government of India resorted to the policy of privatization and globalization and invited the big multinational companies to come to our land and start business in our country. Those Indian companies which failed to comprehend the impact of the advent of such MNCs in our land had to close down their shutters after a certain point in time. Now, another point you can add in the introductory paragraph is that how can a business organization understand the changes which are continuously taking place in its environment? In order to understand the changes taking place in the environment, a business organization has to regularly monitor and scan its environment. It has to continuously monitor and scan its environment. Now, this regular monitoring and scanning of the environment will be helpful in identifying the opportunities and threats which are arising from these changes and which are going to affect the organization, either directly or indirectly. So these are the things which you will, write in the form of a paragraph and start this topic, some sort of a general introduction. So this is a general introduction of this particular topic. So after giving this general introduction, we will move on to the specific points. Now, the specific points, for writing down the specific points, you will have to come to the second paragraph and write the advantages or importance of understanding the business environment are as follows. The advantages or importance of understanding the business environment are as follows. Point number one. Point number one, we will write the first point. First mover advantage. First mover advantage. Now, in this point, give a colon, underline, and in this point you will write awareness of the business environment helps an organization to take advantage of early opportunities instead of losing them to its competitors. For example, Maruti Udyog Limited, MUL, became the leader in the small car market because it was first to realize the need for small cars with better mileage on account of rising petroleum prices and a large middle class in India. So that will be your first point, first mover advantage. Number two, early warning signal. Point number two, early warning signal. Environmental awareness serves as an early warning signal. It makes a farm aware of the impending threats or crisis so that the firm can take timely actions to minimize the adverse effects, if any. I repeat, the point is early warning signal. Environmental awareness serves as an early warning signal. It makes a firm aware of the impending threats or crisis so that the firm can take timely actions to minimize the adverse effects, if any. Now, come to point number 3. Point heading: customer focus. Customer focus. Environmental understanding makes the management sensitive to the changing needs and expectations of the consumers. For example, Hindustan Lever Limited. Now, you don't write this name. You, instead of Hindustan Lever, you write Hindustan Unilever Limited. That's Hindustan Lever is the old name. Hindustan Unilever Limited and several other FMCG companies launched small sachets of shampoo and other such products, realizing the wishes of the customers belonging to the lower middle class sections of the society. And at the same point in time, this move helped these firms to increase their volume of sales. Point number 4, strategy formulation. Strategy formulation. So under this you will write, environmental monitoring provides relevant information about the business environment. Such information serves as the basis for planning and policy making. I repeat, environmental monitoring provides relevant information about the business environment. Such information serves as the basis for planning and policy making. You can add this example in this paragraph that, for example, ITC Limited realized that there is a vast scope for the growth in the travel and tourism industry in India, and the government is also keen to promote this industry because of its employment potential. Now, with the help of this knowledge, ITC diversified into the hotel sector and started building new hotels in our country and abroad. Point number 5, coping with the changes. Coping with the changes. Business leaders are expected to cope with the rapid changes in the environment. In order to decide the direction and nature of the changes, the leaders need to understand the aspirations of the people and other environmental forces through environmental scanning. So this point is saying that the people who are actually running the business organizations, the leaders, the management, they are expected to cope with the rapid changes taking place in the environment. In order to decide the direction and nature of the change, the leaders need to understand the aspirations of the people and other environmental forces through regular environmental scanning. Another point you can add: predicting social economic changes. Predicting social economic changes. So, under this, you will write proper understanding of the changes taking place in the environment can help an organization predict or foresee the socio-economic changes taking place at the national and international levels. This will ensure stability and survival of the business organization in the long run by understanding the impact of such socio-economic changes. Next point: tracing opportunities and threats. Tracing opportunities and threats. Regular monitoring of the business environment helps executives to trace the opportunities and threats which an organization can face due to the changes taking place in the environment. It ultimately prepares an organization to avail these opportunities and prepare itself to encounter these threats. And last but not the least, you can add this point heading public image. Public image. Under this, you will write a business firm can improve its image by showing that it is sensitive to its environment and responsive to the aspirations of the public at large. Leading industries, leading business organizations like Reliance Industries Limited, the Tata Group of Companies, etc., have been successful in building good images by remaining sensitive and responsive to these environmental forces. So that's all about advantages or importance of understanding the business environment. The second topic of discussion of today's lecture will be a small topic, which is introduction to the dimensions of business environment. It is an introduction. Detailed discussion will take place later on. So, introduction to the dimensions of business environment. So, under this, you will have to study the diagram which is given in your textbook, which is figure 1.2. Figure 1.2 of the first chapter of your textbook, page number 6. Page number 6, figure 1.2 of your textbook, under the head Dimensions of Business Environment. You see that there is a circular diagram given over there, a circle. which shows the different dimensions of a business environment. Now, there are mainly two dimensions of the business environment. Number one, micro environment, and number two, macro environment. Micro environment consists of the internal and external factors and forces which directly affect the performance and functioning of a particular business organization. I repeat, micro environment consists of such factors or forces which directly affect the functioning and performance of a particular business organization. Whereas macro environment consists of such factors and forces which are going to affect all types of business organizations. So these are those general factors or forces which are going to affect all types of business organizations in some way or the other. So if you look into this circular diagram, you will find that right at the center you have the micro environment. That inner circle represents micro environment. Now, micro environment has got two sets of factors or forces. It consists of internal factors and external factors. Internal factors in turn consists of the following specific factors or forces like corporate culture, power structure, mission and objectives of the organization, corporate image, top management, and company resources. Whereas external factors of micro environment consists of customers, competitors, suppliers, middlemen, financiers, and the public at large. Now, see the outer circle. It represents the macro environment. Macro environment consists of the general factors or forces like economic forces, social forces, technological forces, political forces, and legal forces. So, study this circular diagram very carefully. A detailed discussion on micro environment and its factors and macro environment and its factors will be done in the subsequent lectures. So, dear students, I have completed 2 lectures on this particular chapter, business environment. So, I will advise you to go through these lectures over and over again, prepare yourselves on these particular topics. And for your help, I will give you a list of questions now. So, prepare yourself, prepare the answers to these questions. Like, you can write down question number 1. What is meant by business environment? Or define business environment. Question number 1. What is meant by business environment or define business environment? Question number 2. Describe the essential characteristics of business environment. Describe the essential characteristics of business environment. Question number 3. With the help of a diagram, elucidate the relationship between a business organization and its environment. I repeat, with the help of a diagram, elucidate the relationship between a business organization and its environment. Question number 4. Discuss in detail the importance or advantages of understanding the business environment. I repeat, question number 4. Discuss in detail the importance or advantages of understanding the business environment. This question can be framed in another way, like discuss another way, like why is it necessary for a business organization to understand its environment? Why is it necessary for a business organization to understand its environment? And the last question, question number 5, so far from the chapter, that with the help of a diagram, show the different dimensions of business environment. With the help of a diagram, show the different dimensions of business environment. Thank you, dear students. I will deliver my next lecture within a couple of days.